daddy got promoted, so I appealed for more child support. He ordered a DNA test, and my son failed. Oh, shit.
There is a statistic that says, I think 30% of men are raising children that are not biologically theirs, and they are unaware.
I want to see those men that have been in that predicament, in that position where they've taken care of the pregnant woman and come to find out that the child's not theirs at the end. And I love the fact that they have to leave or they will leave.
There exists a subgroup, the nice guy. A dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone. Joe, Jason, and Manny are the last of the nice guys.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents.
We're still in Dallas.
Still in Dallas.
Texas.
Irving, to be exact. Irving, Texas.
Irving, Texas.
Irving,
It's right outside of Dallas.
Right outside of Dallas, because I don't know what we're doing.
It's the Miramar of Texas.
Actually, I walked outside just before, and I have to admit, the skyline again, which you didn't know what that was is very nice.
It's just blue sky.
No,
you
it's
can't
the building.
You can't see the
silhouettes.
buildings.
Yes, you can see from the parking lot.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta go back and check that out.
It's very nice.
Very. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Last of the Nice Guys. We've got 2 episodes in a row only because we happen to be together.
Yes.
Traveling
Yes.
for this man's thing.
Yes.
So,
yes, with water.
That's right.
Yes.
Today's topic is mandatory paternity testing at birth. Oof. Now, I'm going to play this clip.
God almighty.
This is what inspired this topic. This actually came from Manny. Sorry, Manny, because I call him Man.
Okay.
But Man is a different. So every time I say it,
you kind of like.
I know, Manny.
Stuttered.
I did because I don't want to call him Man. Manny sent this, and let's check this out.
My baby daddy got promoted, so I appealed for more child support. He ordered a DNA test, and my son failed. Oh, shit. He put the results in my mailbox. I forgave myself for cheating. Whoa! I forgave myself for cheating, but he's being petty. He's been my son's dad for 8 years. No, he hasn't. Why ghost my child now? How to fix it? I mean, lady, you just answered that question yourself. Why ghost my child? Because it's your child, not his. Honestly, I don't think you should be looking a gift horse in the mouth. This man could have caused a scene. Could have got up on social media and started a podcast. But instead, he calmly delivered the DNA results to you and bowed out. Couldn't have been me. Because my black ass will be suing for restitution. And if I don't get it, I know where you live. I'm hitting the meanest lick. The nerve. How to fix it. The nerve of some people. Go ahead and follow me. Stay toxic. Get a DNA test too.
Stay toxic.
He said stay toxic. I love that. Stay toxic.
Can you sue for that?
I don't know. But what hit me the most is he could have made a podcast, which is what we do.
Literally answering the guys.
We have literally aired out so much of our grievances of our baby mamas on this podcast, like as therapy. And it's so funny when he said this man could have made a podcast. I felt like, oh, is that a personal attack?
Exactly what we're doing right now.
But so and this is basically things that happen. There is a statistic that says, I think 30% of men are raising children that are not biologically theirs, and they are unaware of it. 30%. I believe it was 30%. It's in the 30s. That's the truth right there. That's almost what? That's over a quarter of men in the United States are currently raising children that are not biologically theirs, and they don't know it.
They have no idea.
And they have no idea, right? So there's this push now to make mandatory paternity testing at birth before the father can be put on the birth certificate. And I think that's amazing. I'm all for it.
I'm all for that too.
I'm all for it. The problem is those women.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, I meant yay as in like, you know how they do yay or nay? Yay. Is that their thing?
I don't think they say.
In the
Is it
courtroom
yay?
Back in the.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, you just went a whole different route.
I did. I thought you were doing something else. I thought you were going, yes. That's what I thought you were doing. Oh my God. Okay. But women are pushing back on this. They're like, they don't like it. They don't think it's appropriate. They don't think it's right, and they're pushing back. They don't like the idea of it. On their side, it's because it's calling into question their integrity. It's calling into question their morals. Basically, are you calling me a whore?
I mean, if the shoe fits.
I mean, oh shit. But no, it's not that though. I think every man has a right to know if that's his seed. It happens. The nicest woman in the world can be cheating on you. The nicest woman in the world could have had a slip up. And there, how many times have you heard you are not the father? And the girl, whether it was on Maury or Judge Judy or whatever it is, they're like, that's the father. Look at him. They're adamant about it, and they may actually believe it.
Right.
And then it turns out it's not. And so. Is it wrong? I don't think so. Because furthermore is this. Let's be reasonable. Right. Men do not have paternal rights at birth. Period. The only parent that has parental rights at birth is the mother. Why? Because they can guarantee that's the mother because it's coming out of that mother's vagina. That's it. Women have guaranteed parental rights. Men don't. You only get your parental rights when you petition the court to determine your parental rights. That is... Whether you're married or not married, I found that out the hard way in my 20s. You don't have any rights until you ask for your rights.
Right.
They are implied between you and the mother, whether you're together or not together. But you don't have the courts. You have no rights.
Right.
So...
And doesn't it get worse as the child gets older too?
No.
It gets easier rather.
What?
As the child gets older.
What do you mean?
Because I mean, as they become more of 18, 19, 20, or let's just say from 18 to 21, when they reach adulthood as 21, doesn't it kind of...
what do you mean?
The whole system is just negating the fact that there are no rights in that sense because they're adults, right?
Well, yeah, but that's just reality. That's the whole emancipation kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the simple fact is that you don't have any rights, and you don't know that. No, and most men don't know that.
No, we don't.
And yet, the woman can put him on a birth certificate. The man can sign a birth certificate and have no rights.
Yeah.
Signing a birth certificate does not give you rights. It says that you legally say that this is your child, but you have no rights. There's nothing there. You have to have it established. With mandatory paternity tests, I think that's the next logical step to allowing a man to get his equal parental rights. Because now, when the mother will be granted it at birth, and then the father will be granted it immediately after the test goes through. And here's the thing with that: one, it's going to really stop promiscuous behavior. And men entrapment. I think it is. Because now when you know that if you get pregnant and you don't know whether the man you're with is the father, and you know that after birth there's going to be a mandatory paternity test, please believe she's going to come clean. Please believe she's going to try to do what she needs to do. Please believe she's probably not going to mess around.
Great idea. I really like this idea though.
It is a good idea.
Is this a state to state or is this just?
It's going to be a state to state kind of thing. I know that. I forget which state. Let me look it up. No, the one state is already asking for it. That's the problem.
Yeah, because this would change the game completely. This would change the game because let's be honest and real. Like a lot of women aren't faithful. I mean, we're not the best. Also, as a gender, us males are very promiscuous in our own way. However, females, they can't get away with it as easy as we can.
Right.
So this is going to be a game changer. And I actually applaud this because I want to see those men that have been in that predicament, in that position where they've taken care of the pregnant woman and come to find out that the child's not theirs at the end. And I love the fact that they have to leave or they will leave. Why waste all those years taking care of a child that's not yours? That's not fair.
Yeah.
You're just wasting away your life. So I'm all for this idea. I hope they implement it in all 50 states, especially whatever state I happen to live in, or not that it's not going to affect me, but I'd prefer it to be in all 50 states because it just makes sense. But yeah, I'm definitely for this. I feel bad.
I know that I'm trying to find which state this began. There's a
was it already out for a couple years or something?
No. Oh shit! I think it says. Oh my god! I think it says Texas.
Look at that. Maybe another reason why to live in Texas.
Oh, no. Negating an order. Navigating court order paternity testing in Texas. Paternity testing. What is the new paternity law in Texas?
Is it?
Texas Family Code Section 161 is the new law and is likewise means that a man who signs what is called an acknowledgement of paternity or an AOP form at the time of birth at the hospital can later challenge his paternity through a DNA test. Okay, so so what it is now is there's a law in Texas called Section 161.005, and basically it says that if a man signs the birth certificate, which is called an acknowledgement of paternity, that's what it is. When you sign a birth certificate, it's acknowledging paternity.
Yeah.
You actually have the right to challenge that by asking for a paternity test. That's the new law in Texas. I don't know if that's what it was that started it, but there is a.
Can you do it without? Can you do that without the mother's consent, or you can just do it like on? Does it have to be?
If the court says you have to do it, then
but you can just do it. You can go to the court yourself and be like, hey, I would love
correct,
to okay.
correct. And of course, and you can do it yourself. If you have time with the child and you take the child yourself and do a blood test, of course it's going to look bad in the background. I'm saying this because it happened to me. My kid's mom didn't put me on either of their birth certificates. I mentioned it before. She's claimed an excuse, and again, the excuse that she gave for both why I was on their initial birth certificate and why they didn't have my last name has never been corroborated. I worked in the healthcare system that she claimed that it happened, and any place that I asked when I told her story, they said that's not true. Nobody has ever corroborated her story. So my name wasn't on their birth certificates. So when she put me on child support the first time, because I wasn't on the birth certificate and I didn't sign anything, they required me to do a paternity test before she could put me on child support. And I respected that. You know what I'm trying to say? I really did respect that. And so I took it. And yes, both of them are mine, 99.9%. Thank you very much, no matter what they look like.
You sure about that? No.
So, and it's great because here's the thing, though. Regardless of the nonsense that she put me through, first or the second time she put me on child support, the fact that I do have that peace of mind to know that they're both mine.
Right.
They are.
Right.
Biologically mine. I'm not saying that their mom, stepped out. I'm not saying that anyway, but what I am saying though is that for a man, he puts it on faith when a woman pops out a baby and says, "This is your son, this is your daughter."
Yeah.
It's faith, What's wrong with having that peace of mind?
Does that same rule, apply to if you're married? Wouldn't that be crazy?
What? Period. It's period.
That, though.
It's period.
I don't see an issue with that.
I don't think, but women pushing back because it's challenging their sense of self.
Yeah, it would always come off as an insult to them too.
Correct.
Like, oh my God, you're serious?
They're pushing back on this as much as they push back on prenups.
Yeah.
You don't trust me. You don't trust me. It's not about trust. It's about security. It's about what's the word? What's the phrase I want to use?
Trust.
It's not
fucking trust.
It's not just about trust though, but it's about security and it's about having the knowledge and being secure.
Well,
it's about being secure. Well, that's whatever. but I'm just saying, I don't think I should take it as you shouldn't take it personally. A man should have the right to say, listen, I love you, whatever, but I need this extra. I would like this extra security. I like this extra. The word is on the tip of my tongue. Not acknowledgement.
I'll be honest with you. As you're thinking about the word that you're trying to come up with, I'll be honest with you. Me being a married person right now, I would. And here's the thing. This is probably going to raise some alarms with the viewers that watch us. I'm good with my marriage. I don't have any issues. However, what he described made perfect sense. The security of it. You just want to feel... Because you don't know.
Thank you.
The unknown,
you don't know until you know.
The unknown is so bad.
You're right.
And so nerve-wracking.
But here's the thing. That statistic that I just gave you is far too high. 30% of men in America are raising children that are not biologically theirs. That statistic is too high for us not to consider, paternity tests.
Tell these numbers to women who don't understand it, and they still.
No, that's not true. Because what are they gonna say? Well, that's not me.
Right. No,
I wouldn't do that.
They won't. I'm saying
I'm not that person.
Tell the number, the accurate, what you just said, the accurate number, as to how high this is. Because you said 30%, right? I'm saying tell this to them, and they still will have this cognitive dissonance about how Yeah, no, that's not true. Because I don't do that. No, that's bullshit. 30% is too high. Come on. Really? Then they'll come up with all these excuses. 30% is a high number, but it's a high number to feel safe and secure about the fact that you...
There it is.
know.
Here it is. Of all the possibilities, fathers of all the possibilities, fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are not the biological father.
32. It just rose to
32%. By the way, a 2005 scientific review published studies of paternity is called Paternity Discrepancies. Okay, found a range of incidents around the world from 0.8% to the over here 30%. It's larger here. It's larger here.
Here meaning the States.
The States.
Oh, God, man.
About 32% are not the biological father. There is a 1 to 2% margin of error, so that can be 30% or 34% of men. That is a large number of men in this country.
Let's keep in mind, statistics do not lie. Numbers don't lie. Let me repeat that, because people seem to be oblivious. Numbers do not lie. We're not making this up. We're not saying this to make people feel better or worse.
In 2023,
that's what it is.
In 2023, 12% of men mandated by courts to undergo paternity tests were not the biological fathers.
Yeah.
So 12% of those that were told you have to get a test, it wasn't them. That's still too high.
It's very high, and this is the reason why this law needs to be implemented. I think it needs to be not as an option, just as a literal, every single time you have a child with a woman, you need to have this. Like, this needs to be a requirement. So I think this is perfect.
Yep.
It shouldn't be an option.
Yeah. There's demographic factors, Men in their 20s and 30s, those unmarried to their mothers, and those with shorter relationships may have a higher rate of non-paternity. It's just reality.
I did that just like Jason was talking about. I did that for my son.
You took a paternity test?
I took a paternity test.
When?
It was it did raise alarms.
You took it voluntarily, or the courts made you do it?
No, voluntarily.
Well, okay. Do you mind giving a little more detail? What
inspired this?
Yeah, inspired you to seek that out.
Well, you know me as a best friend. I usually don't hold my tongue when it comes to a lot of things.
Okay.
I say. And I think the viewers have every right to hear, the raw truth, because most people don't say it nowadays.
No, of course.
It was a decision based off of the fact that I blatantly just did not trust her. Mind you, keep in mind, I was just very new. I was very young. I had my son when I was 22. I was still incredibly new to dating. I didn't do that much dating back then. So me having a child off a wedlock the way I did, I didn't have any jealousy or trust issues. I wasn't in that zone to have that. I didn't have enough experience.
Right, you were dating casually.
Right. So I just knew the patterns. You kind of know, your sixth sense kicks in. You know the patterns of the partner.
You know who you're dealing with. Exactly.
And in that sense, the type of person she was back then, we weren't in a deep relationship. It happened the way it happened.
Right.
And I just saw the patterns. I knew her past. I knew all things that I heard, and I was just like, yeah, this makes sense.
So when did you? What age was he when you?
One.
Oh, okay, so pretty early on.
Yes.
So about the same thing.
One.
For
one.
Me then.
My son was 1 when I took the paternity test. Thank God it came out 99.9% me, which is great, and it gave me peace of mind.
So you said it raised red flags. Tell me, because remember, for me, the courts mandated it, so she couldn't get upset about it,
right?
Because I'm not the one that did it. They told me I had to.
Right.
But you did it voluntarily.
Voluntarily.
And you said it raised red flags. So what happened?
Raised red flags with her.
Exactly. So what happened?
She questioned me why I did that. It was just and at this point right now we weren't together. So it was just more like a, why did you do it? Did you not have any trust? Did you not have any faith? No and no. So, I mean, that's just true. No and no.
No and
so,
hell no.
Hell no. Okay. And I had to. It was just... It made me feel better. She was feeling better because of the fact that she had a newborn son. Fine, whatever.
Right.
We know that that's automatically going to be yours.
Right, because it popped out of you.
It's just how it is.
Men don't know.
But we don't know. And there wasn't that much backlash as I would have expected, but it was more like okay, motherfucker, you gonna do this?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was when it all went down.
But years, 2 times in court. A lot of fathers that listen to us and men listen to us know that we went through the same shit. But that's the response. That was the response. Like, oh, okay, motherfucker, you do this. Like that was what I had to deal with. But I knew I didn't care. At the end of the day, I did not give a shit.
Don't we as men have the right to have peace of mind?
No, we don't.
We're not allowed to have the. We have to take your word at face value.
Yeah.
What is? I don't understand.
Why? Because
why
you
is
think that no other man's gonna want to take care of you and your baby's ass. Like no one is gonna do it. Yeah, you're right. They won't.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing. You should not take it personally. You should actually say, you know what, babe. Especially if you didn't do anything wrong and you know this is your baby. Knock yourself out.
13 years of the child being raised and just found out, just an example, I'm not saying this actually happened, but it probably did happen in the country.
Huh? It's happening to a dude right now.
13 years old, 14, whatever it is, and you're just finding out that the kid's not yours. And then you have the right to be like, well, look, I'll have a relationship with the kid, but I'm out. I'm doing my own thing.
I would be out. I would be out.
I mean, all those years of me spending.
Then again, I can't say that because I'm a softie and I probably would have been like, fine, I'm stuck, but you're kind of wrong.
Well, God willing, this is what I again love my son. He's my rock. But if at 1 year old,
that's different. You didn't form an attachment.
It didn't. Right.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. Yeah, that'd be different. You'd be like
talking about them talking to you, them coming over, then hanging out, going on vacation. Yeah. This is way different. But at 1, if I would have found out, I would have been done.
Absolutely.
I would have had my whole 20s.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'd have been like this. Paching, I dodged a bullet. Paching, I dodged a bullet.
No, it would have been that. I can't imagine or fathom how these guys had to find out at such a
I mean,
age.
Kanye has that song "Stronger," and in one of the verses, it goes 18 years. On his 18th birthday, he found out it wasn't his.
Yeah.
Because it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's 18 years old. That's crazy.
It happens. And then you're stuck. But I honestly don't see the problem with a man getting that reassurance.
No.
Women always want reassurance from men. They always demand reassurance from men. Why can't we ask just this one thing? Hey, listen, it's your baby, it popped out of you. Can I have that? And
Right.
Why not?
Right.
It's for us. It's not about you. It's for us. And if you haven't done dirty, you haven't done bad all you, then what's your problem?
Right.
What's your problem? Why are you taking it personally for? Kind of a thing.
It'd be interesting to see the reaction of a woman that. Let's just say it was court mandated because it became a law or will become a law, and they're like, okay, yeah, go ahead, I have no problem with that. The level of confidence that she would show because she knows that this guy was with me, and you can go ahead and take it. I want you to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I want you to.
I want you to go ahead and take it.
Go ahead and take it.
Go ahead and take it.
Yeah,
and
just feel the utmost confidence about it. That to me is sexy.
Right. So when you come back and she's like this, cross legs. So what did it say? Baby's mine. Damn right. And now you can call him a motherfucker.
Right.
Then you can call him a motherfucker. And then you tell him you go make me a sandwich, bitch.
Right.
That's it.
So
make have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun with it.
It doesn't have to be that serious, especially if you have nothing to fear. Then what's your problem?
Yeah.
Now, when you push it back, that's a woman who's done dirt. That's a woman who knows that or why? Why do they take you guys on faith? You can't take us on faith. You don't take us on faith at all.
That's kind of an evil, the makings of an evil villain. Like
right.
You're pregnant. You know when your belly's popping the head.
Yes.
But you're just going along with the pregnancy,
Yeah.
taking fucking photos and shit.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. That's the makings of an evil villain. Like I don't understand.
There was another video somewhere in here where the girl is talking to the guy. The guy's recording her, and she's like, "Why can't we be a family?" He goes, "Because that's not my kid." He's like, "So what? So what if it's not your kid?" The guy, that guy, he's not in the picture. He's like, "We're gonna have a family there. You're gonna raise this child with me, and he's gonna be your son." He's like, "But he's not. He's not." And she's following him while he's saying no. She said, "But you're not gonna. Why wouldn't you want to stay with me? I don't understand." She honestly, genuinely said, "I don't understand why you wouldn't stay with me. We'll raise this kid together. This is your kid."
Delusional.
And he said, "No, it's not." He says, "Yes, it is. You're with me. You're my man. This is your kid." This is what she was saying to him.
Very delusional. Very delusional.
This is what she was saying to
Very
him.
delusional. I had the same conversation with my wife a couple months ago. This was a conversation based over the same topic, but if they find out the same situation where it wasn't the guy's kid, and the kid was like maybe like young, like 5, 6, whatever, and she was like, yeah, why not just stay? I was like, that way of thinking is never going to work to the man who knows they put all this wasted time and effort that they could have put in either somebody else or
into his real seed.
It wasn't like clicking.
It's a pride thing.
It wasn't clicking.
It's a pride thing.
So weird to me.
That would crush a man to his soul. A good man.
Yeah.
It would crush him.
Yeah.
He may stick around, but it would still crush his soul because he's looking at somebody, he loves you like a son, but you're not my blood.
Yeah.
And you're a love child. You're a child you're also an example of me being foolish. You're an example of me trusting. You're an example of me being lied to and messed with.
Yeah.
You're asking to have that raised in front of you, to still be around that. That's a hard thing to ask.
It is.
It is a literal walking, talking, breathing example of being betrayed. How can you expect a man to still try and be there with that? His love for this child then has to exceed his pride and his feelings, or he has to dismiss how he feels, and that's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
That's not good for your mental health.
Yeah.
No,
definitely not good for your mental health. You lose all type of credibility.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I'm sorry, no matter what he says, he's gonna lose a little bit of that love for the child. A little bit, not a lot, but just enough.
Yeah.
And
the kid is innocent.
Right. And again, it's not the kid's fault. And
No.
so when the kid steps out, and let's say, God forbid, the kid goes through their normal thing, and they're being disrespectful and stepping out, and the guy's like, I don't need to be here, man. I'm not even your fucking father.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? And just saying, screw this. It's a very tricky thing. And you know what will solve all these questions? Mandatory paternity testing at birth.
Yes. And that, yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Now, you read that the state of Texas is doing it, or are they back
No,
doing
the
it?
state of Texas has a section now that even if the man signed a birth certificate, it's called acknowledgement of paternity. By signing the birth certificate, he can still challenge it. He has the right to challenge it at any time to get a paternity test. That's the code.
Is that more towards court? That's more towards
correct.
Okay.
So I don't know how it is in other states if you can still do that. Because here's the thing: once you sign a birth certificate, that is an acknowledgement of paternity. You're saying this is my child, and I'm legally obligated to this child. I don't know. That's a contract. It's more of a contract. But you know what I told people when I used to work in the clinic? I used to tell separated wives and husbands. I said marriage isn't really about love. It's a contract, and you have to dissolve that contract, no matter whether you're in love or not.
Yes.
When you sign up the birth certificate, that's a contract.
Yeah.
You are saying that I legally am taking responsibility for this child. So then, and if you're going to challenge that, you got to go to court.
Right.
It's not about, yes, this is my son. Yes, this is my blood. No, it is that you are acknowledging legally that I'm responsible. I am the father of this, and I'm responsible for this child.
Yeah.
And so when you sign the AOP, acknowledgement of paternity, then you have to go and challenge it if you feel like it's not. And I've heard stories where you signed the birth certificate, you did the paternity test, not your child, and you're still responsible. You're still responsible.
That is so funny.
It happened where I know a story where and I read it somewhere. A man was with his wife, got a DNA test. Child wasn't his. He got divorced, but he signed a birth certificate. He was still required to pay child support.
And the kid wasn't
his. He was still required to pay child support because he signed the birth certificate.
That just makes life so much more difficult for the guy. And just to be involved in that situation, that must be a mental breakdown type scenario.
Yeah.
Because when you have your own kids, now you got to discuss with your then wife or girlfriend, like, why I have to pay child support.
Correct.
God,
Correct.
it's so fucking too
Correct.
much.
Correct.
That's too much.
Okay, and I'm telling you, child support's no joke. Child support is no joke.
Did you pay child support?
Yeah.
You did, right?
Twice.
Okay.
It happened to me twice. I told you, she put me on child support twice in my 20s. 2 times. And the first time, I said, listen, I'm going to go to court and take you for full custody. She backed off. But she didn't really back off. She just kind of like put it on pause. And then a few years later, I don't know the reason, exactly. Some say, oh, it was jealousy because you were dating somebody at the time and she saw your pictures on social media, but she was with somebody forever, or it was maybe I pissed her off somehow. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden one day just unpaused it. And how did I find out? My wages were garnished. Nobody called me. Nobody told me. One day,
said anything.
Nobody said anything. And the same day my wages were garnished, I got a letter in the mail saying, "Oh, by the way, your child support was turned back on." Turned back on. I said, there was like it was 2007 was the first time I think she did it to me, and then 2012. How do you know I'm still working in the same place? You got no new documents. You didn't give me credit for timeshare because pretty much from the dawn of time we had 50-50. I'll be real, I had more time with them than she did. You know, that's just the reality of it. Whether she asked me to pick them up or whether they asked me to come home early. So I had them more often than not, especially when she returned it back on. And nobody told me anything. Just one day I got my check and I was like, hey, what happened? I just happened to be on vacation, so I thought maybe my time off didn't go through.
Right.
But when I looked through it, it said child support. Not even payroll from my job contacted me to let me know that my wages being garnished.
Yeah.
Just one day, $400 is missing from my paycheck. Do you know what that does for a single father, part-time with his own bills, to have to lose half his paycheck and then lose half his paycheck for pretty much an entire year? I told you that. I told you they intercepted my tax return too. Took the whole thing. Why? Because she put it in there that I owed her arrears. Oh yeah.
I feel like a bug
Oh,
went
yeah.
here and said this shit.
It was a nasty year.
Yeah.
And we had to go to court. It was 5 court appearances, battling. And I spent almost $8,000 on lawyers' fees, battling back against something that was wrong. It was wrong, just to go all the way back to reset to normal.
Yeah, those years we don't got to dwell back on.
Mm-hmm. No, it's nothing to dwell on. You have to tell these things because these things exist, and these are happening to men right now. And I'm saying, but I've always said, give her the credit. I said the best thing she did for me was try to take away my parental rights because it forced me to go to court and to fight for my parental rights.
Yeah,
it forced me. It forced me, and it gave us a playbook that said these are the rules. By these rules, and the fighting pretty much stopped because if she started to act a fool, I'd say, hey, Section 2, Paragraph 3 says, don't be a bitch. That's it. The courts in family law, they'll give you a full and take it or leave it, hate it or love it. At least the fighting stops.
Full scope.
It says who has them on these holidays, who has them on the birthdays, who's responsible for this, who's responsible for that, who has to pay this, who has to pay that. It says that nobody can move 50 miles away from the other without the permission from the other parent. You can't choose doctors or schools without the other parent, and the other parent can't just say no without real cause. So I want to put our child in this school. No, why not? Because I don't want to. No, you can't do that. You would actually have to have a dialogue, and if you can't come to a conclusion, you go to court about it. But there's none of that petty shit anymore. So I would be real with you. It really did. Things began to look up pretty much from the parental side. In my opinion, she never respected me as a father. And in turn, I never respected or appreciated me as a father, period. I've gotten accolades from family, from friends, from my best friend. That's fine. I don't need to be acknowledged from her or that because that's just whatever.
Right.
But what I'm saying, though, and in turn, I never respected her as a mother, but that's because she never earned that from me in any way, shape, or form. Never earned it from me. I don't give a shit about her being biologically there. She never earned it from me with her behavior, her mannerisms, her lack of tact, none of that. But me, on the other hand, she can't comment on me being a father. I was exceptional. I was exceptional.
Yeah.
So, but and you still never gave me the I don't need praise, but for you to acknowledge that.
Right.
But it's fine. But what I'm saying though is that route helped.
Right.
It helped stop the pettiness.
Yeah.
It helped.
Yeah.
And then of course, and I've mentioned this before. They give you this playbook, but you have the leeway to come to a conclusion later on.
Mm-hmm.
So if the thing says, you know what, on Christmas odd years is yours, Christmas even years is yours, but this one particular even year, can I also have them?
Right.
Yeah, you could say sure if you have that decor, if you have that thing. So it's not like we have to follow this stringently. No, you don't.
No.
But it is a guidebook, and basically the fact of the matter is, you go to court, and if you're not upholding it, you get in trouble. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what
it's a good thing.
I kind of went through something similar like that too with my
Yeah,
son.
of course you did. Of
Twice.
course you did.
The second time, I actually got assaulted.
Did she ever put you? She never put you on child support though.
No, she couldn't.
You and Manny.
I was a very.
you and Manny were never put. I don't think we were ever. Yeah, you
I was a
Manny
very
were put on child
unicorn case with me.
Yeah.
But she actually put her hands on me after a court decision. The second time we went in the court, and not in the courtroom, but in like the lobby.
support. She lost her mind.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Well, she always lost her mind. But they asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I was nice enough to say no.
See, and
I'd
that's
been
our
idiot
problem.
back then.
That's our problem because vice versa, they would have pressed charges. Their mother took me to court and tried to strip me of my parental rights by saying he can only see his kids 4 days a month. I had them 52% of the time.
Yeah.
And you wanted to reduce it to 4 days a month. How dare you, right? But when I was having problems with her ex-husband, okay, and her ex-husband, for lack of a better word, would physically discipline my children. You see what I'm trying to say? And I said, "Yo," an incident happened, and I went there and said, "Yo, this is not. We're not doing this." And I confronted both of them, right? And he's like, "I'm not married to you. Get out of my face. She's allowing me to do. I'll do." I said, "Okay, cool." We didn't fight. I went home. She calls me up. She sends me a message that says, should I expect a court? Should I expect a court hearing now? And I replied to her saying, how dare you? How dare you ask me if I'm going to take you to court? You never gave me a warning. You never gave me a warning you did it to me. You see what I'm trying to say? But just like you, I was too nice. I should have put in a case.
Yeah.
I should have, said, listen, I don't like this. I don't physically discipline my kids. Who are you? And how dare you let this man physically discipline my kids when I made it very clear? And I spoke many times. It happened many times. Many times that I was told and many times that I wasn't told. Because, I was in a weird place. When the boys would tell me something that was some stepped on shit that went on with their mom's time, if I confronted their mom about it, then they got punished. Her ex-husband told them, listen, whatever happens on here, you don't tell it anywhere else. How dare you tell my children this? Yeah, and she co-signed on that shit. So there's a lot that happened that I do know, but a lot that happened that I don't know because my boys were afraid to tell me because if they told me, they know, and it was something serious, they know I would address it with her, and then they would be punished when they go back to her.
This is why these are the perfect scenarios as to why people end up getting in jail, prison, or killed for stuff like this.
Yeah. There are multiple reasons why I should have probably made a case or made something against them for the hell of it. Not for the hell of it, for the principle of the matter. But I didn't. Just like you said, we're too damn nice. Or I was nice.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Guy came up to me in uniform, court officer. He's like, "You want to press charges, man?" He's like, "I would. If I were you, I would." Like, yeah, I kind of do, but at the same time,
that's the mother of my child.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not that
it's gonna make things
serious.
a little bit more. I have to come back again. It's like I don't want to go through that. He's like,
Exactly.
all right.
Exactly.
He was like, he was for me. He was like, I would do it if I were
Yeah,
you.
because she would have done it to you.
Multiple witnesses around, just sitting there in the lobby, like all sorts.
What was the decision that made her put hands on you?
So there was this guy, the judge. I think I told you.
What had happened was
the judge. I told you so. The judge was great guy, more on the flamboyant side.
okay.
Right, this black judge, really funny guy, great guy.
Uh-huh.
He was would seem to be all in favor of me,
Uh-huh.
which was hilarious. Because the type of woman that his mom is or was is more on the side of like lower class. You know what I'm getting.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know what you're
All right.
saying. I know
But
what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
trying to say it.
No, of course. I know what you're saying. And this is
and again, this is
there's
truth.
no shade. It's just facts.
It's no shade.
Objective facts.
It's facts. I'm not trying to, go on the fucking.
Don't feel bad.
Go in the
Don't feel
doghouse.
bad. Whenever I went to court, I was in a 3-piece suit, and she came in Daisy Dukes or whatever, whatever
Just-
farmer's outfit. I'm just like, you're going to court. This is not. You're not going to a farmer's market.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I showed up in like a not a suit and tie, but just like a dress shirt tucked
Right.
in with
No,
with
dude.
pants.
I came in with a suit, a tie, a jacket, my briefcase. They thought I was counsel. Okay. Okay,
So-
you don't dress for the court appearance you're at. You dress for the court appearance you want the outcome.
want the outcome.
You want the outcome,
Yes.
and I dressed
Yes.
the part.
Well-
Each time I went to court, she never dressed up.
In this case, the outcome for this was that she would be having visitations for him, and it'd be every other weekend, while I would be having
Right.
the full custodianship with him every day, all the
Right.
time. So she hated that outcome. Stormed out the room. I followed suit afterwards, and I think I was by myself because no one came.
At least my mom, I had some cheerleaders though.
She came
in,
one time.
in 2007
She
and
came-
2012.
Yeah, she came one fucking time, and then I was by myself that day, and then I'm
He's like, I was like, nobody came.
I'm trying to remember the day I went all the way in the back of the lobby, because on the second floor,
Uh-huh.
a family court, and then I was looking out the windows on the phone. I remember I was on the phone, and she came up to me, and she tried to strike me. She caught a little bit of my face, but I kind of like blocked most of it because I knew
He was like, hiya.
something. I was like,
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
So when she did that, she was like, "How dare you? How effing dare you?" And she like said it out loud. She's like, and then she's like, "I can't believe you would do this." And then she stormed off, and like she said it in a loud, screaming way.
Well, that's how you
Which
know
was
that she
super.
was.
And
you were careful, because
everybody-
anybody that was smart would know that's a dumb thing to do.
And then here's the worst part about it is that, not to put race involved, but the majority of the people there sitting were all black, so they were like,
They were like,
they were with,
huh?
they were with me.
Well, it's because that's the slave mentality.
Yeah, they were with me.
I just said that's the slave mentality. Well, yeah, but they were with me.
I want to see what you were getting. We're getting canceled. Wow. Anyway, fucking show, man. So yeah. That was
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the bitch slapped me.
I mean, let's be reasonable. You guys actually saw my kid's mom on this podcast, and she slapped the shit out of me in that episode. But I bleeped it out.
Yeah, that was that was a very
but it was done in jest. I'm witty, so I will insult you with my words, and she'll insult you with her hand. So if you go back to that, what was that? It was what episode was that? It wasn't it like a?
It definitely was a nice guy's episode.
It was a nice guy's episode, but wasn't it an anniversary episode?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
She just happened to. That was there was a string of like a 2.5 years where we were like really good, like really, really good. Man, she and her mom fucked that up well. No, of course, taking no accountability for it.
Right.
But it was a good time because my boys had transitioned to be full time. Due to COVID and other excuses, they were transitioning to be full time. And so I said, look, the last time my boys were with me full time, this is the third time we tried this. Mm-hmm. She would always get in her feelings and say, no, they got to come back. They got to come back and do their time, whether they wanted to or not. You know.
And this time around.
So this time I said, you know what I didn't do the last two times? I wasn't cordial. I wasn't nice. I wasn't friendly. I said, I'm gonna give it all. Because if it means that the boys get to stay with me and they have their peace and they'll just visit her whenever they like.
Yeah.
I did that, and it worked out. It wasn't genuine on my part because I have a lot of deep seated anger toward this woman for essentially turned out to be a 20-year nightmare.
Years of the 20s being.
But
castrated.
Was I willing to fake it to make it for my sons? Absolutely. And so that was when she came on. So you guys can actually find it. I forget which episode it is. Like I said, we're on a new setup. So I don't have quick access like we used to, where you can just pull up what the episode was. But she was there, and she was like, twice. But it's because I was coming out the mouth. I was being slick. So she's not witty like that.
Yeah,
so
me and Manny definitely had a reaction to that.
Yeah.
That was like.
But I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how she is. But I know that. I knew it was coming because but she was showing off for you guys too. She probably wouldn't have hit me that hard. She was also showing off because you guys are on camera.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I was being really, to be honest with you, I was being really slick at the mouth. I don't remember what I said, but I was being really slick at the mouth.
It was funny though.
It was fun because I'm a funny guy.
It was hilarious.
But she's not witty. She's not a quick guy. You know, quick guy. She's not quick, huh? Huh?
The funny part. I don't know about that one.
You're white. But no, back to the weird tangent. But yeah, paternity test. I'm all for it, and I think you women need to get out, put your pride off the side and acknowledge the fact that men deserve that security. They deserve that clarity. They deserve to be comfortable, that peace of mind. They deserve it, and men shouldn't have to ask for it, and it be or when they're put on child support, have to be forced to take one. No, it should be automatic. So women, take your feelings out of it, and men take it. Even if a man doesn't want it, doesn't matter. It's all there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make this a law.
Make it a law.
If there are any politicians
make it a law.
hearing this
because it's not fair. Make it a law.
Yeah, it's not fair. It would make life a lot easier, and it would allow them to go ahead and be in their own grave.
I agree.
Not in a terrible sense, but like you created what you created.
I agree.
The guy doesn't have to be with you.
Right.
Let him live his own fucking life.
Correct.
And deal with his own...
and save 32% of the population from a lie.
Yeah.
So could you imagine the kind of uproar if it was reversed, if women found out 30% of them were lied to about something from the man, something, lied to about...
Oh, there'd be
What if 32% of women were married to men that were already married? You're gonna tell me you don't think they would have petitioned a law where before we can get married, they have to do a background check to make sure he was never married?
Their rebuttal would have been like, oh, well, we know that already because we know there were married men that hit on us. Well, okay.
I'm just saying. I don't know what else to say, but 32% is too high.
You ever ask why they hit on you? Maybe there's a reason.
I know that's right. So, all right. Well, I mean, that's it. So final thoughts. I mean, I said make it happen.
No, 100% make it happen. Make this a law. Quality of life, peace of mind.
Yes, for the men.
Everything comes into play when you know the truth, because then you can make a decision to get the hell out.
Yeah, I agree.
And make your own children with someone who's not going to fuck you over.
I just think it's just peace of mind. I think every man deserves peace of mind, whether he fears the woman or he believes her or not. That you don't know until you know.
Get it done early, though.
Huh?
Let's get it done early.
But that's why it's mandatory paternity testing at birth. At birth.
Yeah,
so there's no attachment. You know what I'm saying? There's no. But that's it. And then there's no hard feelings because I'm not telling you if I'm not saying I want one. The law says so.
Right.
Kind of a thing, That
would have been like a nice
a nice way to end it. Okay, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you for tuning in to the Last of the Nice Guys podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Joe.
And thank you for your time. I'm not wearing my hat.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.